Hey guys, I am live. And hopefully it is streaming okay. And the reason I'm saying hopefully is, as you can see, I'm not home.
They call me
Oops, I'm hearing an ad. I didn't realise I had advertisements set. I didn't mean that. Oops, I'm hearing. I'll maybe disable that. I didn't know that was set. Monetization. I'll turn that off just now. Yeah, so spammer already. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not home. So I'm in my girlfriend's house in Edinburgh, and I'm streaming with my Surface Pro. The camera on this is good. The microphone on this is good. I'm not set up with any other equipment right now. I've just got my Surface Pro, and my girlfriend's Wi-Fi connection is pretty terrible. So I'm just doing it through my phone. I'm just doing a hotspot. So I'm just going through my phone with the internet. So that's why I was saying hopefully everything is okay, because normally I stream at home. I've got a very good connection and I don't have to worry about anything like that. So how is everyone? How's things, Evo? How's things PS4 Pro 4K 8K? I think you need to get some more keywords in that username. I think you could get some more keywords into that username. So yes, I am okay. I just need to close some tabs here. So I am conscious of the fact that I'm streaming through a mobile connection, so I'm hoping that everything is okay. It says everything is okay. Basically, when I'm home, I would stream at a much higher quality, but I've dropped it from like 60 frames per second down to 30, and I've dropped the bit rate from like 10,000 down to 5,000. I don't think you'll notice a big difference, but from a streaming point of view, obviously it means that I don't need as much bandwidth. I think so. Yeah, it's hot, isn't it? It's very hot. I was out earlier. We went out earlier for breakfast or lunch by the time we went out. But yeah, I think after I do this live stream, I might go out and take a walk. Take a walk in Edinburgh, because it's absolutely beautiful. But we're going out tonight. It's the last night of the festival in Edinburgh, and Edinburgh is it's been jumping for the last month. It's very, very busy. It's just too busy for my liking, if I'm honest. But it's, it is very busy, and they're doing a big fireworks display. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of fireworks, but yeah, we're going to see that tonight, so I'll be walking around. So, is everything okay? For whatever reason, it's now spiked up to 100% for my CPU. Why is it doing that? I think right, okay, what I'm going to do is switch off Google Chrome, which seems to be a resource hog. Yeah, I think Google Chrome, is that better now? Evo, is that better now? Basically I've switched off Google Chrome. This is the thing, I'm trying to do it like a very minimum way here. Audio was okay. Is the perfect? Right, okay, so that's what it was. It's one of those things, it's actually quite hard to test that, because I was testing videos before I streamed, but so I was looking at it and I was again like 60-70% CPU after I dropped from 60 to 30 and kind of messed about with things. I did some tests. But then when you upload and you're streaming at the same time, well, your computer also has to record it and upload at the same time, so it needs a little bit more. So yeah, I think Google Chrome being, well, I've still got the comments open, but I think Google Chrome being closed makes it a little bit better. Hey Ultra. So there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about. In this video. What I might actually do, maybe it'll help if I do my comments on my phone. It's obviously in the house I've got all the different equipment. When you're on the move, it's a little bit different. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, I'm reluctant to do that there just because it's going to use up more bandwidth if I do that, so maybe just leave it the way it is. Everything seems to be okay just now, doesn't it? Okay, don't touch anything, is everything okay? So, yeah, I think everything's okay now. I think we're cooking with gas. Right. Yeah, so I'm up in Edinburgh today. I had plans to do writing today. I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of writing to do, and I'm too tired, to be honest. So I thought I would do a video instead. Let's do a live stream, catch up with you guys. Is the PS5 worth buying over a gaming PC? And this is the kind of thing that comes up time and time again, but I have seen a lot of articles now suggesting that, the PS5 will kill, PC gamers because it can do so much. But it's one of those things. I think looking at the specs just now, and I've got a couple of tabs open, we can look at the specs in a second, but I think if you look at the specs just now, then yes, the PS5 would be an absolute beast, but you forget how quickly, gaming consoles can become dated, because when the PlayStation 4 came out, it was the same as having one of the best gaming PCs on the market. But fast forward a couple of years, and now people have built PCs that are much more, much more powerful than a PS4. So I think sometimes the consoles, they come out and are very, they're very powerful, but then over time, that is when, PCs are always going to be ahead, because you can always get the latest GPU, you can always get the latest motherboard, the latest CPU, and you can build something. You can go out and put like 100 gigabyte, 128 gigabyte of RAM in it if you want. Lucas, how's it going, Luca, by the way? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Luca summed up perfectly. PCs are always better, you get more games on it for cheaper, and you can run a higher FPS. Yes, you can get games much cheaper, so much cheaper on the PC. Like I've still got money in my Steam account actually, and you get games so much cheaper. There's always bargains. These classic games you can get really cheap, but you pay through the nose as far as getting a powerful PC. As far as building one, it does cost a lot of money. I think I put my PC build is still in PC Part Picker, and I think it's still worth about $2,000 or so. As far as all the components, but because for most games you will need a PlayStation. PlayStation Plus isn't too expensive though. For a year you can get it for like about £40 or so. There's always a deal going on. In fact, it was like 35, I think, in the UK. You could just connect a PS4. Yeah, you can connect any Bluetooth controller to the PC as well, and it will work with most games. You just have to map the buttons. In the long term, PC will be better. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't, this kind of discussion, I think it comes up all the time, but I don't think it's black and white as far as PC is better. I think some people are always going to prefer PC games. I think for me, and this might sound like a stupid reason, but I think because I sit at a desk and I record videos and I write articles at a desk, when I want to play games, I want to sit on the couch. I want to get away from where I work. So it sounds stupid, but that's one of the reasons why I like console games. I grew up with console gaming as well, and I didn't get my first PC until I went to university. So I got a PC at 17, and I started playing games all the time on the PC, and I played games on the PC for years. But I do like there's just kind of plug and play. So you don't have to worry about installations. Well, you do have to install things, but it's kind of a dummy's way of playing games. PC is upgradable. I mean, I don't. It's one of those things. As far as graphics and that go, I'm still happy with the graphics on the PS3. If I'm honest, I know things move forward and all that, and I'm all for graphics getting better and all that. But as far as actual game quality, good games are always going to be good games. If you're talking about competitive game, I'm not a competitive gamer. I'm not as good as a gamer as I used to be either. I think most people, when they get older, their response times and all that aren't as good, and I don't know. People always want to pick a side with this kind of stuff as well. I don't, is Xbox better than PlayStation, all that? It's like, it doesn't matter. I like all the systems. I play Xbox in my friend's house all the time, and after the I didn't have the PlayStation 1. Well, I've got the PlayStation 1 Classic. I need to unbox that. But I had the PlayStation 2, 3, 4. I didn't get the PlayStation 1 because it was sold out, and I ended up getting a Saturn at the time. I think it was a Saturn. But I basically had the PlayStation last 3 generations, and I like it, but I've got a few of my friends that are on Xbox, and they prefer Xbox. So I might gravitate towards the Xbox next time just because my friends are doing that. But I'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I played the PlayStation. Well, it was just called the PlayStation. I played it a lot at the time, but I played it more at friends' houses. I got the Saturn at the time. I loved this. I absolutely loved the Saturn. I love the Dreamcast as well, but I love the Saturn. Remember when I bought it as well, I got like all the kind of arcadey games with it as well. I just absolutely loved it. People always get passionate about this kind of stuff though, do you know what I mean? So, I want to show you this. I don't know, you guys, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, right? So this was posted on a German website. I saw a lot of English websites talking about this as well, but they're basically just, you know, they're just taking all the information from this website. This is apparently, from what I've read online, apparently this is the Sony PlayStation 5 PS5 development kit. So this is what's been sent out to games developers right now. This is what it looks like. I'll show you some more images just now, but I just want to show you this image at the top here. This is what they will be using to develop games. It's like this kind of bizarre, futuristic console. I mean, I don't think this is what the final PlayStation 5 will look like, but it's very interesting. If I scroll down here, guys, you should be able to see this. I mean, look at that. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. It looks absolutely massive. I mean, I don't know if, I assume there's a practical reason as far as ventilation goes with all this, but I do think that in the next console, we're going to be moving towards SSDs anyway. I don't think, you know, the previous consoles still came with mechanical drives. I think we're at the point now where, you know, if the PlayStation 5 comes out, it's nearly almost likely to be, you know, to be SSD based. It looks like a football stadium. Just to point out though, guys, this is just the development kit. This is just what the developers are getting as far as developing games on. This is what is being sent out to them to help them develop games. This isn't what the final console will look like. I don't think it will look even remotely like this, if I'm honest. I don't think it will look anything like this. What I'll do, guys, just in case you want to see this yourself, I'll post this here just so that you can check it yourself. So there's a couple of more pictures here. But I mean, really, this could have just been a big grey box. It could have just been a PC. It is quite interesting though that they've got this. They went with this funky design just for a dev kit. It seems kind of mad they went for this kind of development kit like this. I don't know what the practical effect is of, you know, leaving out the middle part and using that. It must be for ventilation or fans to cool the GPU or something. Must be something to do with that with the GPU. Yes, it's a bizarre design. That's why I wanted to share this today, because I think it really is a kind of bizarre design, something you don't normally see. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the PlayStation 3 and 4, the PlayStation 4, I guess the PlayStation 4 is what it's about. PlayStation 4 is probably about the size of a PS3 Slim, roughly. It's smaller than the PS3. Hey Ed, welcome to the stream, mate. I think the PS4 is kind of smaller than the original PS3. I know that is actually because I've got an original PS3 myself. It's about the size of a Slim, and I think that it'll probably be about the sizes of the PS4 again. I think they want to get something that's small. You know, the bigger and bulkier and all that it's maybe less likely that people will buy it. It's hard because, you know, from their point of view, they need to get something that looks good, but is also practical, that doesn't overheat, that isn't noisy, but then it also has to perform. So what I'm going to do is, there's a ton of websites online talking about the rumoured specs. I found this website here. It's not the best website, but it's got a kind of collection of all the different rumours right now. And I checked a few of the rumours, and it seems like these rumours are, you know, just the same rumours you will get from the other websites, the kind of mainstream websites. All the kind of same rumours are here. So we can scroll down and just see what the current rumours are. So here we go. The PS5 will support up to 8K resolutions. Now, I've seen lots of websites talking about that, so that seems to be what it will actually be. You know, most people are saying it will support up to 8K resolutions. My guess is that most games will be optimized for probably at least 1080p at 60, but probably 4K at 30 or 60. 8K resolutions, it might support 8K for certain games, but I would be very, very shocked if this did actually play 8K games, you know, out of the box. I don't think that's going to happen. The system will include an SSD, like I was saying. It will include ray tracing. Yep, I actually saw that the GPU, see what it says, a variation of the Radeon Navi family. It says that it would be equivalent of a 2070. I saw someone talking about that, so I'm not sure. Uses a variation of AMD's third generation Ryzen with 8 cores, 7nm Zen 2 micro architecture. The system provides 3D audio without any additional hardware. Backwards compatibility with PS4 titles and PSVR is confirmed. Right, so see like that part. See what it's talking about. Backwards compatibility with the PS4. What Sony has did in the past is they've always had these rumours. Yes, we'll play the older games. The first PS3s could play the PlayStation 2 games of like 99% of the catalogue, but then they actually removed that functionality for future versions. The PS4 came out, there was all these rumours saying, yes, this will support PS3 games, but then when they come out with, we don't know, I don't know if we will, and they didn't actually have it, and I guess the reason was, well, they didn't want people to keep buying PS3 games, they wanted people to buy a new system and then go out and buy new games. I suspect something like that will happen again. I suspect that they might say, we're trying to add it, and then they can't add it, sorry, you're going to have to buy original PS5 games. We've seen this lots and lots of times before. They should make COD World at War remastered or Ghost 2. Call of Duty, there's a lot of revisions of Call of Duty coming out, so it wouldn't surprise me if they did. 8K TV is like 10 grand, I know. But again, a lot of this might just be, see that it says will support up to 8K resolutions. My guess, and I'm not really basing this on anything if I'm honest, but my guess is that games would be at 4K if you've got a 4K TV, but it could do 8K, for example, for Netflix. And it's okay saying an 8K TV is 10 grand, but if the life of this console is going to be like 7-8 years, then, there's a good chance that in a couple of years, maybe even in 2 years, 3 years, I think even in 2 years, there might be 8K televisions that you can buy for $1,000. We've seen it before, with 720 to 1080p to 4K. They start off very expensive and then they come down in price. The amount the PS5 is going to cost, you could probably buy a decent PC for the same price. Yes, definitely. Well, no, in fact, I don't know, Luca. I don't know. I suspected they'd come out and they'd get this about £500. I think if they come out and they sold this at $1,000, average gamers wouldn't buy it. I don't think they would, and I think they would give Xbox and Nintendo a heads up. They'd give them a head start on the next generation. I think anything over £500, maybe 550, 600. I think it's going to be very difficult to get people to buy it over that price. I really do, and I don't think you can buy a good gaming PC for that price. Again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier as well. It's kind of like not a different market entirely, but 8K TVs aren't really big right now. It would take at least another 3 to 5 years. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know much about 8K TVs. I mean, I know that 4K TVs now, you can get like a 55-inch 4K television in the UK for like £500. It is super cheap now. So, all these things are economies of scale. So maybe it will come down, in a couple of years. What do you think about using SSD? I mean, over time with writes? I don't know, Evo. This is something, I looked into this. Noises. I looked into this when I replaced my hard drive a few years ago, but I basically ended up with a mechanical drive that also had an SSD partition, so it kind of gave you the boost, but you also got the storage. It was like one of those gaming hybrid drives. So I remember looking at it at the time, and they talked about that. I don't know, I need to look into this again, because I'm at the point now in my PlayStation where anytime I need to install a new game, I need to delete an old game. So I might start looking at hard drives for my PlayStation 4, just to install older games, all the games I've got, because I've got a lot of games in the library that I can't actually install now. I don't know. That will be something they will be looking at. And I don't even know how they would work that out, because there's some people that play their PlayStation 5-6 hours a night, or even more. Do you know what I mean? Especially at the weekend. You could probably buy a Core i9 and like an RTX 2050, 2060 for the same price. Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, I think, I don't know. Maybe I think gaming PCs, I think this will come out at a price where to build the equivalent PC would be more. But over time, that's initially, as I said before, I think initially PlayStations and Xboxes as well, they're always kind of ahead of the game initially, but fast forward a year or two, now it's the equivalent of an average gaming PC, that kind of thing. I don't know if I agree with that. Look, I don't think that people are losing interest in games at all. I mean, see, if you look at most kids, they're playing mobile games all the time, they're playing PlayStations, they're playing Nintendo Switches, and now you've got all the Fortnite and the Apex Legends, all these kind of free games, these freemium games, and you're getting all these sporting events where people are, I know maybe people don't think it's a sport, but all these esports are coming out now, and there's more interest in it. I don't think gaming is going to go away. I look at gaming the same way as I look at films. It's just a different kind of media, more of an interactive media. SSD in your laptop is at 89%. What kind of drive have you got, Evo? That's a great suggestion, Ultra. Bluetooth controller, key wireless charging, and RGB light. Well, I don't care about RGB lighting, but the key wireless charging is a fantastic idea. You're right, I would love that. I think, the only problem with key wireless charging is the charging rate. Key wireless charging, it's not, like I've looked at this with phones and it'll say, oh, that's got wireless charging, but, it charges at half the rate as the cable, but I do like that idea. Well, it just depends. I mean, some of my friends, 40 years old, and they'll play games at night online, or they'll play games at the weekend when their girlfriend's doing something. Well, that Samsung Evo, is it a 2.5-inch drive, Evo? Right, so I'll scroll down, we'll kind of look more at these rumours, and then we can see what's here. Right, so here's the current specs. Okay, CPU 8 core, 16 threads, 3.2 GHz with Zen 2 architecture, Navi base with AMD, features at 12.6 to 14.2. I saw someone, I don't know how true that is, but I saw someone saying that the GPU will be very similar to a 2070 just now. Memory 24 gigabytes total, with reportedly 20 gigabyte DDR6 at 880 gigabytes per second and 4 gig DDR4 for the operating system. So 4 gigabyte will be just for the OS, which that kind of makes sense. You don't need the OS to run super quick. You could probably even run that DDR3. 2 terabyte SSD. Yeah, but the file sizes will be insane. Installation sizes, this is the thing, it'll be 2 terabyte, and then down the line you'll have to buy a 6 terabyte. But promises of 4K 60 frames per second. Part 1, current prediction, it's kind of just going on about what it's talking about above. 24 gig, 4K, 8K upscaling, right, so it'll be 8K upscaling. So it'll be 4K, but then you could upscale the picture to it for an 8K television. I'll leave a link to this page, guys, if there's anything else you want to check out here. You've probably got an Evo 860. Probably an Evo 860, probably. Everything in 4K, right, by 2020 all digital content will be presented in 4K resolution, with many going to 8K. I don't agree with that. There's still a lot of streaming services online that are playing catch up with 4K. Just not there yet. Photorealistic graphics, right, okay. Hard drive or the cloud, right. Let's see what that says. SSD confirmed for PS5 with higher bandwidth than anything on the market. Spider-Man running on PS4 took 15 seconds to load. On PS5 hardware, the same task took about 0.8 seconds. See, that kind of thing though is kind of irrelevant in a way. It's demonstrating how powerful this will be, but it's kind of pointless because it won't be running the PS4 version. It'll be running a higher version. If Spider-Man was released, it'd require more processing power. Right, I'll check that out just now. Look, I'll get that on. I'll get that on as well. Streaming is still on the table, but details have yet to surface about Sony's plans. So, streaming is something. Obviously, that's as a YouTuber, this is something that it just sounds so cheesy saying that. But as someone who streams videos online, the streaming element of it is something I'm very interested in. The streaming on the PS4 I thought was fantastic. You can stream at 720p, you can stream at 1080p if you go for the PS4 Pro. The problem that I've got with that is that, yes, you can add a headset, with a mic and all that, you're kind of limited, but you're forced to use their PlayStation 4 camera, which is absolutely awful. I've got it, I've used it to stream, but it is awful. the fact that you can't just attach a USB webcam is very, very annoying. You know, just a generic plug and play webcam, or even, you know, connect video or something, video camera. But yeah, I find that very annoying. I would love them to fix that aspect of it, to give you a little bit more flexibility. But I think people like myself, if you've already got a setup, you'll maybe do streaming yourself. It'd be cool if the PS5 Pro could have 1080p at 240 and 4K at 144. Well, that's another thing, you know what I mean? Talk about 4K at 60 frames per second. A lot of people would just like a higher frame rate at a lower resolution. So, if the PS5 does indeed choose physical storage, we're looking at 40 terabyte hard drives by 2020, right? You know, 3D audio, internet, network speeds, television or VR. And yes, so at this point, it's just, you know, a lot of guesses with this kind of thing. Disk drive or digital. I mean, this is obviously one of the biggest discussions over the last few years as well. As far as whether you buy physical, you buy digital and all that. And digital games continue to be, for the most part, much more expensive than the disc. And then you basically get, well, certainly with Sony, my friend was saying with Xbox, they've actually got a good refund policy. But certainly with Sony, the minute you click buy, you are never getting your money back. They're not replying to emails. You know, the whole setup with it is that you've got no comeback. And as a customer, it makes me always think, well, I should buy the hardware version. Even though sometimes I think it would be easier to download games on you know, digital format. I've said this before when I've bought a lot of digital driving games just because it's easier to switch when you're driving, to switch between games. But generally speaking, I think if they come out and they didn't allow people to buy games on disc, you know, a lot of people would maybe have problems with that, you know. I don't know if we're there yet with that. PS5 supports generic Bluetooth headsets. Yeah. There's always, I mean, I realise that there's always kind of restrictions with all of this kind of stuff. Ps5 camera. Oh, so this is what I was talking about before. Will the PS5 have a camera? The existing one is absolutely terrible. Right, that's not telling me anything. I don't know. Right, so this is the article that Luca kindly shared there. Sony is set to host a major launch event for the PlayStation 5, February 2020. Again, 8K. They're upscaling it. It'll be 8K Netflix, but it'll be 4K games. See this kind of style of controller. This has been rumored a lot of times in the past. This kind of weird, you know, kind of winged shape. I've seen a lot of people suggesting this kind of thing in the past with PS4 as well. They just kind of come up with a design and run with it. And they've basically just got a PS4 with it looks like an S more than a 5. Right. So Sony's playing its cards close to its chest. The original PlayStation, right? That's not telling you. Right. This should put the PS3 release date at sometime in 2019. Right, that's wrong. Obviously, but 2020 it'll be, I think. The good news is, again, I'm not sure that will be the case. I don't know that PS5 will play older PS4 games because they do. You know, this is the same thing. Anytime a new system comes out, it's in their interest to kind of force you to buy new games, and if you can just continue to play your older games, you're less likely to buy. You know, I'd put it one way, if I could play my Wii U games on the Switch, I wouldn't have to buy Zelda and Mario Kart and all that again. And again, see, this is kind of irrelevant if you need to run that same game, you know, in 4K. It's not going to, it could actually be slower in some respects, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's all speculation. It's definitely all speculation at this point, without doubt. It would be cool to stream at 4K, 24 frames per second, and 1080p at 60 frames per second, and the PS5 and normal records 1080p at 60, 4K at 60, maybe 8K. Yeah, the thing is, I think to actually game and then record and stream all in the one, you know, system, it does put a system under a lot of pressure. I mean, I found that when I had two 1080 Ti's and SLI, I just assumed I could play a game at the lowest settings and stream. It just couldn't handle it. It was just stuttering, and you know, from my point of view, it's just easier to stream via a games console than it is to build a dual PC setup. You'd have to set up a dual PC setup for that. I think we'll find that some of these rumours are true. I think it is going to be a 4K gaming machine that can upscale to 8K and can play Netflix and Amazon Prime Video and all that in 8K. But I think that a lot of the other stuff here does seem to be very speculative. Very. Yeah, Ultra. But I don't know if, as far as Dame's talking about 8K, I think this is more just a future-proofing thing, you know, as far as it will support 8K upscaling later. So if you buy an expensive console for 500, 600, whatever it is, if you buy that just now, then when these other televisions come down, you know, maybe you'll go and buy an 8K television, or maybe you buy the 8K television and then want to buy the Sony. I don't know. I mean, these things always kind of go in waves. It wouldn't surprise me, you know, 3-4 years down the line, there will be a PS5 Pro that's got 8K gaming rather than just 8K upscaling. At the end of the day, they have to work with whatever technology they have available right now, and technology moves very, very quickly. Certainly in some areas it does. Certainly in the gaming world. I do think the Switch is going to look even more dated when I do think the Switch will look more dated when these new systems come out by Microsoft and Sony. But as far as that goes, as far as the Nintendo Switch goes, nice little segue there, nice little segue. As far as the Nintendo Switch goes, I think it's great for certain types of games, but for others it's not, because I've still not bought the console. I'll talk about that in a second, but I've been looking at certain games to buy, and a lot of the games, I've already got Mario Kart Legend, the Zelda for the Wii U, but I'm tempted to buy them again. It's maybe a waste of money, but I think I'll maybe play them more. But those kind of games, Mario Maker 2, I think would be great. Super Mario Bros. U, again, I've got it, but it'd be good to have. Mario games and all these kind of Nintendo games, I think these are perfect for the Switch, but there's certain games that the Switch, I suspect, struggles just now. You know, a Call of Duty game might not work well. And I saw some people talk about Mortal Kombat. If you buy Mortal Kombat 11, you buy it for the PS4, you buy it for the Xbox One, looks great, you know, you've got the full version of the game. If you buy it for the Switch and it is the same price, then what you'll get is a versus mode, and then you need to go online and download 15 gigabytes to your card to unlock the full game. And there's a lot of people that are pissed off about this, and I can understand why. You know, you're buying a kind of crippled, restricted version of the game. I suspect they're just working around the limitations of, you know, the SD cards. Maybe it would have cost them a lot more to buy a higher capacity SD card. It's just cheaper to put a limited version on the hardware and then make people download. But then, you know, I can see why people are pissed off with that. And I think there's always going to be games like that. The Switch is kind of limited with, you know, if the game developers develop a game from scratch, like a Mario game or whatever, and they build it, you know, for the Switch, then it's going to look great. But if they're porting a game that's been optimized for, you know, higher spec consoles, then it's not going to look so good. And fast forward a year, there'll be games that come out on the PS4, the PS5, and the Switch, and the Switch might start to look a little bit dated. Hey Paul, good to see you, mate. Ultra, what I find weird with the PS4 is you can stream at 720p at 60 frames and normal recording at 72 at 30, but you can't normal record at 1080p at 60. Yeah, you can't do it. Well, you'd need a device like what I've got. You need that like an Elgato or something to capture the games. Yeah, you can't take a console on the plane. I know. I'm not criticising the Switch. I'm just acutely aware that it is limited. And it was the same when I bought the Nintendo Wii U. When the Wii U came out, it was kind of like a PlayStation 2.5. It was better than the PlayStation 2 graphics, but not as good as the PlayStation 3 graphics. And I guess maybe that's what the Switch is. Maybe the Switch is like a PlayStation 3.5 or something, you know, if you look at the specs. You know, it's kind of in between, but it's not as good as the PlayStation 4. But as far as that goes, and most of you guys, I know a lot of you guys in the UK, it's weird, I think in my live streams I get more UK viewers, but I think generally with my videos I get a lot of American viewers just because of certain types of videos. In the UK, the new version is out, the new version of the new improved version of the Switch with improved CPU, GPU and all that. That is now out in the UK. It was out in America. I'll just bring this up. It was out in America a week or so ago, but it is now out in the UK, and I can buy it. So if I jump over to my browser, there's these hot UK deals, and you can see they're selling the older version there. If I scroll down, you can see here. So here's a version of it in game, £310 with Legend of Zelda. It's actually not too bad a deal. I'm kind of tempted with that. And with this, it's the new version. It's out of stock. Okay, it's out of stock now. Great. But I didn't choose to buy it. They had this in stock the other day, and I didn't choose to buy it. And they've got it in shop too. I think they've maybe got it in the game collection as well. Yeah, like the price, there's no bargains. It's basically $280, $310 with a Zelda game, because that Zelda game normally sells at like over 40, so that's actually quite a good deal. I'd maybe go for that one. I was tempted to buy it at the time. You know, as I said, they've got it, is it Shop 2 they call it? Shop 2. Shop 2 and then the game collection, things like that. They've got it as well. They've probably got it, you will get it in stock somewhere. They've maybe got it in Smith's as well. See what I can get here. Consoles. Must be a quicker way of going there. So like, yeah, they've got it in stock there. They've got the grey version, $280. You have to wait for the neon blue because most people are buying that one. If you go for the older version, you'll get it for $260. So you get it £20 cheaper, but you also get a £30 voucher, so kind of £50 cheaper in a backwards way. But I'd still opt for the one with the extended battery life. But I've not bought it yet. I've not bought it yet, and the reason is that I was kind of hoping to buy it from Amazon, just because I know Amazon support is generally, it's a nightmare now as far as, you know, you can't speak MD on the phone as well as you could before. You do, the person can't speak English, or you're speaking to people in the chat and all that, but the returns policy is still pretty good compared to some of these other places. You know, if for example the Joy-Con controllers, which are apparently still not great, some people are reporting they're still not as, you know, they're still not fixed. I think that down the line, if there are any problems with the controllers, it's probably easier to return something to Amazon than it would from, you know, like Game or something like that. So that's why I might hold back to get it from Amazon, but it's not in Amazon just now. It's not in Amazon. Ultra, I heard a rumour that if you get the normal Nintendo Switch and like 2 weeks later the Switch 2 comes out, apparently you get a free upgrade. Yeah, I saw that myself. I saw a few people saying that that isn't the case, and I suspect Nintendo want that to be the case. I suspect Nintendo want people to be able to return it so that they're not pissed off that they got the older one. But I also suspect, I guess, is that you know, shops probably don't want to support this because they're going to get a boxed version, which is, you know, it's been opened. They have to then sell it second hand. They'll lose money on it. So I saw some people saying that they went back to the store and the store was like, no, we can't do that. So I suspect that Nintendo want this to happen so that they don't lose a long-term customer. But I think that shops who are actually selling the Nintendo Switch might not. What do you think, though? Do you think I'm right there? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously, it's not something I need to worry about. You know, I'm just going to buy the new one. But certainly there are some good deals. I think if the Switch come down to like, I don't know, like £80-90 cheaper for the older one, a part of me would be tempted to buy the older one because I could just put it towards buying the light version. But in saying that, 2 months ago, people on the South End got a free Super Mario Maker 2 and a free Switch. Oh, lucky. That would have been awesome. That must have been like a PR thing. The thing is, like, I said this in a video the other week, is that if the older Switch was like 80, 90, £100 cheaper than the new one, there's a very good argument for just buying the old one or buying it second hand and then putting that money towards getting the light version so you can have your Switch, the one that you maybe travel with, you know, if you're going on a plane with friends, you can have the one that you dock, you know, that one you dock, and then you can have a light version if you're in bed or on the couch. But the problem with that is that Nintendo are way behind the game. I'm talking like 10, 15 years behind the game when it comes to, you know, saves and things like that. I mean, you go back to like the PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, Xbox and all that, you can save your files to the cloud, you can transfer things. With Nintendo, if you, for example, your Switch broke or, you know, get stolen or something, you can't get your save files. So you could put in like 40 hours into Zelda and then it's lost, it's not saved to the cloud. So you have to physically have the older version of your console and the new version. And the reason I say that is because in theory, I would love the idea of, you know, having a Switch Lite for maybe, you know, bed or on the couch or something, keep another one plugged in all the time. But you're not going to be find it easy to transfer game files and progress and things like that. So it'd end up being a pain in the ass. It'd be easier just to have one system. Any of you guys got this Switch, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because I remember with the Wii U, it was something that I remember reading about it for the Wii U. It was the same back then. I don't know why Nintendo haven't, you know, fixed that though. It's something that every other platform is doing, and they're doing it well. The Switch is overpriced. I can stomach the price of the Switch, if I'm honest. I can stomach that, you know, the price of it. But what is severely overpriced, and I do agree with you, I do think the Switch is overpriced because the fact you can get, I saw a refurbished Xbox One X, you know, the Pro version. I saw that the other day at $280. So the Switch is more expensive than the default, you know, price of the PS4 and the Xbox One, and you can pick up the Pro versions, the X and Pro version, for around the same price, like refurbished and all that. So price-wise, the Switch is more expensive, but I think for me as well, as someone who's about to buy the Switch at £280, the bigger thing is the games and the accessories. They are still charging, like in Amazon, they're charging like £48 for Zelda. This is a game that came out in 2017. It's insane. Mario Kart 8, you're talking 35, 40. Again, this is a game that came out like 2015, 16. And all these other, you know, officially Nintendo licensed games, they are holding their price at a crazy level. And there's certain games that you can maybe pick up for like £5 or £10 on the PlayStation or Xbox, and you're going to have to pay 30, 40 on the Switch. And it's a version which is not, you know, from a performance point of view, as good. And perhaps it's like a limited version of it as well. It's only me, or don't other people see this like it's basically a normal Switch, but with Joy-Cons it don't remove. If anything, you would be losing out. The Switch Lite is a Switch that doesn't switch. I think I could live with the fact that the Joy-Cons don't remove, because you can still connect other Joy-Cons wirelessly if you wanted to. I think, like, so if you bought a Switch Lite and you're on a plane, you could just have little Joy-Con controllers, and if anybody else wanted to play, you could just give them they play with that, you play with the handheld, you could make it work. But the big thing with the Switch Lite is it can't be docked. There is no way to plug it into a television, and that for me is the biggest negative, that you couldn't play it on your big television, you couldn't play it with friends. And it's a Wii U again. There's a PS4 Pro bundle with Spider-Man for $300. Yeah. If I've not checked that myself, Ultra, but if that's the case, then yeah, the Switch is drastically overpriced then. It's hard to argue. And those Joy-Con controllers, they don't look like they're built to last, if I'm honest. They're not, like, I do love the idea of the Joy-Con controllers. I love the idea you can take them out, put them into a controller grip. I think that the actual concept is amazing. But they're charging £60 for those controllers. £60. And they're not as good as an Xbox One controller, which you can pick up for 35, 40, or a Sony PlayStation one, which is about 40. I'd like to have the screen recording on the Switch too. Oh, I don't think, they don't support anything like that, do they? I don't think, in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure you have to download, a Nintendo app just to talk, you know, over a headset with other people you're playing games with. I'm sure that's what you have to do. Yeah, the Joy-Cons do feel cheaply made. £60 ridiculous. £60 ridiculous. So what? I mean, obviously, if I buy the Switch, and I'm going to have a think, I might end up just buying it from somewhere else rather than, and you know, if Amazon are going to drag their heels, I don't want to wait a month. But I like the idea of buying another, other Joy-Con controllers, and then you could potentially get 4 people playing. But also, I like the idea of buying a cheaper kind of Pro controller as well. It's like the Nintendo Pro controller is like £50 odd. I'm tempted to just buy a £15 version instead. Do I really need to spend £60 on another controller? I've got the Wii U Pro controller, which is a good controller, but to be honest, I hardly ever used it because so many games don't support it. So the controller, the accessories are ridiculously expensive for the Switch, but so are the games. Say I want 5 good games for the Switch, it's the best part of £200. It's insane. If I want, 6 or 7, £300, I could end up getting a PlayStation, or I could get an Xbox that I don't have, and get like 10 good games for the same price. So yeah, you're paying a hefty premium. You are paying a hefty premium. You can't, you really, what's the light bad there? I don't know why the light's bad there. Yeah, you can't defend it. The pricing's insane. The pricing is insane. But I am going to do it. I did enjoy. I'm trying to get my streaming set up, guys. I'm trying to get my streaming set up so that I can just walk in, click the stream button, and just start playing games. And that's what I want to do. So I'm trying to get that kind of element of it set up, and I want to stream more, more games on my channel. Made in China, very likely. Yes, I agree. The Gearbest generic controller you got is good enough. Yeah, the Wii U Pro controller one. Yeah, I think for the Switch you can buy the 8-bit Do, and what's the other one called? 8-bit Do or 8-bit Do, and there's another one. They've got like a wireless adapter that allows you to connect any Bluetooth controller. I think what was it? What's the other one called? I've saved it in a wish list on Amazon somewhere. But the prices are insane. In fact, I'll show you how insane they are. See if I can get this up. So yeah, guys, see if you look here, like Nintendo don't have it. They're still pushing the older console at 280. So again, I'm just kind of guessing here, but I suspect that Amazon have just got a crap ton of Switches to sell, and they want to push that out before they push out the new version. That's exactly what they were doing. That's exactly what they were doing, which is ridiculous. And even look at these deals. The older console with £30 in Zelda, rather than the new console, and it's still more expensive. So yeah, the deals are terrible right now. And yeah, look at that, £65. £65 for that Nintendo Switch Joy-Con. It's insane, absolutely insane. Even if you just look at the games themselves, look at that, £72 Amazon wants for that digital code. What the hell is going on? I think if you go by category, where is it? Category you go to, right? The electronics, is it that's under video games? No, it must be under the. There's a part for video games. Where's video games? PC and video games. Right, I'll find that in a second. Please. PC video games. I must have missed that there. Ah, there it is. So this is like the Nintendo Switch page on Amazon, and most wished for, best sellers. Can I see that whole page? Is it going to show me? Ah, there. So these are the best selling games according to Amazon. This is what they list as the top games. The PS5 is pre-order available on a German website and a Swedish website as well. See, whenever people allow pre-orders that far in advance, they're obviously at it and they just want money in. Yeah, the PS4 controller is cheaper and infinitely better, I would say. So there's Super Mario Maker 2, that is a game I'd like. Mario Odyssey, a game I'd like. I mean, I can get that one from a friend if I want. But £42, 41, £48 for Zelda. That came out in 2017. And I think it's a quality game. I think it's an amazing game, but it's a 2-year-old game and they're still charging 48. Super Smash Bros. 45. Mario Kart, again, that's an old game. They're saying 2017. It was out before, obviously, on the Wii U. Older than that. These games are so expensive. Mario Bros. U, it's just a a remix of the Wii U version, hence the U. £42. Super Mario Party, £40. Marvel Alliance, £45. These games are annoyingly expensive. But the thing is, it's not just Amazon here. Even in the places that offer these games at a better price, they're still expensive. You see on Hot UK Deals and people are like, that's a deal. £45 down to 38, that's a deal. And they're like, this game's years old. Do you guys remember the meme of the Nintendo guys in the car smelling and rubbing their hands all the way to the bank? No, I don't. But it is a good way to demonstrate what they're doing. Oh, what problem's that, Ultra? What problem's that? I never had any problems with that. Well, that's the one thing I don't do, Evo. I've hardly bought any PS4 games at full price. I think I bought a few at full price, but very few games I bought full price. The only problem I had with the Sony controller was I was charging it with USB and I put it into a phone adapter rather than charging it through the PlayStation, and it burned out the battery. But Smiths, to their credit, did actually accept the return, and they gave me a new controller, and it's lasted since. But what I did find out though, that I don't think there's any easy way to actually replace the battery in a PS4 controller. It's quite annoying. On that subject, where are we here? Yeah, so as I said, I need to try and buy the Switch. I bought my PlayStation 4 from Smiths before. I don't think they appear to have it yet. What I will say is, having used them in the past, I thought they were actually quite good for the return. It was like kind of like the Argos way of doing it, where it was just like, yeah, there was absolutely no problems. They just said, oh yeah, okay, we'll replace that. Hold on, yeah, that's better. Sorry guys, the light was really bad there. I really should have bought a coffee before. I'm knackered today. Absolutely knackered. I think just with the heat, I couldn't sleep. Yeah, I rarely buy it full price. But I mean, again, this is what I'm talking about with the Nintendo Switch. I might have absolutely no decision as to whether I do that or not. If I want the game, I'm going to have to pay full price. I might try and pick up games used where I can, but even used prices, they're not great. They're really not great. I checked CEX, and CEX are charging more. They're charging more for used Switch games than they are new, which makes sense. I do understand why they're doing that. Excuse me. What CEX are doing are artificially inflating their Switch game prices high, because they know that people come in, swap 3 games, they've got vouchers, rather than cash, and they'll use their vouchers, so they'll price their games higher so that people get less for the money. I know why CEX are doing that, but CEX is actually, I picked up Mario Maker last week for like £10, so I picked up a bargain there, but there's no bargains for the Switch anywhere. Absolutely no bargains. $31 down London. I think it's always warmer down London. It's sort of like, I've got a couple of friends that moved down to London, like 2 of them, they've married people from London and they've moved down, they've lived down there for years. And my friend Kenny always says that. He says that, it's always about 4 or 5 degrees warmer down London. Yeah, it is really good, isn't it? It's really good. Like I've actually got my what do you call it? I've got my little tripod and my microphone, my little lavalier mic for my phone. But the audio quality and the video quality on this is amazing, and that's one of the things that kind of attracted me to the Surface. I'm trying to use the Surface Pro more because I did spend a lot of money on it, and I was falling into that trap again of not using it. But what I'm trying to do now is use it whilst I'm using my main PC, use it in bed, you know, take it with me. Obviously, it's lighter when I'm traveling and stuff like that. So the camera quality is amazing. The camera, and I think the microphone quality, you know, this is just the built-in mics of the laptop. Like normally in a laptop, the webcam sucks, the microphone sucks, and the speakers suck. But on the Surface Pro, and you are paying a high premium, but the webcam, the speakers, and the microphone are all good. Yeah, I like it's designed to do, but it's amazing how other laptops, I'm talking laptops that are like gaming laptops, $2 grand, $2.5 grand, and they've got like a 720p webcam that's awful, and they've got the worst microphone ever. So for me, like certainly for me, you know, for what I do online, it's really useful for me to have this. When I did videos with this before, though, I didn't get it set up right. Basically what I need to do is drop from 60 frames down to 30 frames per second, drop my bit rate and things like that. Close Chrome. I need to stop using Chrome. I've got a bad habit of using Chrome, but Chrome it's just the least efficient. It's the least efficient browser out there. There I got a Switch. The Ultra, they've actually got the Switch Lite about, if you check Hot UK deals, they've got the Switch Lite, like, I think it's like 187. That's the thing, you know, I'm not criticising the Lite per se, you know, I just think as me, I want the main console. But I've seen a lot of people saying that when they've actually held the Lite, they say that it's an amazing little thing. You know, it's a fantastic little console. It's really cool. It's a shame they didn't, you know, improve the tablet though, because the actual resolution of the Switch is, you know, it really should be 1080p. You know, you really should be like fantastic, but it's not. What is it? What is the Switch resolution again? Is it 720p? Isn't it? A game you can get Zycan and. Yeah. I shared that one. I thought that one looked really nice. That Pokemon version. I thought that one looked really good. Have you guys ever had to deal with game for returns? I could maybe buy it there. I don't know. I've used game in the past though, and yeah, always thought they were overpriced for most things. I've got Brave installed, Paul. I've got Brave installed. Yeah, I've got it because I've actually signed up to the Brave rewards thing because people use, you know, people basically block my ads on YouTube and my website and things like that. So, but they give you Brave rewards. Yeah, they are. I think my friend was saying that Mike Ashley bought game. He bought them. I don't know if that's true or not. 34%. I was just checking my laptop. I've got 34% battery. Annoyingly, there's no plug in here. I couldn't find an adapter up here as far as an extension lead. But that's okay. I should be okay. I'll be able to stream for a little bit longer. The new iMac Pro. Some of those iMacs, you mean they're beautiful machines and all that, but you could basically build an equivalent PC for half the price. But it's funny though, you know, I think there's a lot of people. I'm not tight with money. I spend money on Amazon literally nearly every single day. Like today, I bought a microphone adapter. In fact, did I buy that? Did I order that cable? I think I ordered that cable. I've got a Thunderbolt 3 adapter cable that I need to buy. It's 50 quid, £50 for a USB, you know, Thunderbolt 3, USB Type C Thunderbolt 3 cable, £50. But I need to get the longer cable, so I need to buy it. So I'm spending money all the time, but I think when it comes to, you know, like if you're going to spend 20 grand on a computer, on an iMac Pro, if you can build the same PC or just buy the same PC for 10 grand, why not do it? But there's so many designers, you know, it's weird because there's a lot of people kind of designing kind of technical stuff and they'll just pay whatever it is. They're like, no, I'd rather just get Apple. I'd rather just, you know, I'd rather just pay Apple. what is the best, cheapest vlogging camera off Amazon? So what? I don't want to answer your question with a question, but I'm going to. What are you looking to do, Ultra? Are you looking to kind of walk around like, you know, kind of like this? Hey guys, hey, like that, and then, you know, do some videos, or do you want to put it in a tripod, or what? You know, if you've got a smartphone, stick your smartphone. Your stabilization is bad on a smartphone, but see if you just put it in a tripod like that, just hold it there. It will actually be, if it's stationary, the quality will be really good. You don't have to worry about stabilization, which is where issues come in. You know what I would say, Ultra? I bought my Canon M50 new, but see my Sony RX100, my Sony RX10, and a lot of other equipment, I buy it used. And I would say, if you've, what's your budget, if you don't mind me asking? Maybe give me a better idea of what you could buy. I would say buy used if you can. Certainly if you're starting out, you can save a ton of money. Honestly, it's like I bought one of the Brio webcams new, but the other one I bought second hand, and I think it was 100 instead of 180. 250. I've got the RX100 Mark III, and I think it remains a fantastic vlogging camera. Let me see if I can see if I can show you an example. But again, it's one of those things though, what you find is, see when you start looking into the, you know, the whole YouTube thing, you find that there is no perfect device. Every device has got limitations of some, you know, something or another. Doesn't have a microphone, doesn't have a flip screen, battery life's terrible, can't be charged via the adapter. There's always, you know, unless you want to spend a ton of money, there's normally sacrifices you need to make to get what you want. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just kind of see if I can jump over here for you. Photography. So if you want to buy a vlogging camera, 200, you're really talking about a compact, i.e. a compact camera means basically one that doesn't have a lens that can be changed. But that's kind of what you want. You want something that's kind of portable. If you want down it, I'll go under 300-ish, that kind of, you know, that kind of point. It's 304. So there's the G7, right? I had the G6 for years. The G7 is a very good camera. That can actually do 4K. But I would say that if you're walking around, I would say the G7 is on the larger side. That's kind of quite a big, bulky camera, and certainly when holding it, it's quite big. M100, that might be an option for you, because the M1, I've got the M50. The M100 is similar and basically just flips open. It's got a flip screen. You've not got a mic though. You've not got a microphone port. So if you want to improve audio, you need to record it separately. But that's quite a good deal. But you might want to be looking more towards the kind of Sony ones. Sony, I would say maybe a Sony RX100 Mark III like I've got, or something like that. There's an M3, that's an option as well. That's a good option. I mean, what you'll find with a lot of these though, again, is that some of these older ones are really good and they can be bought at a very good price point, but there's no perfect solution, because a lot of these ones that don't have the interchangeable lens, then you're kind of fixed with what you've got. But it's more the audio. Audio is a big thing. Audio is a big thing, Ultra, and it's probably the one that everyone continues to tackle with. You know, like if I was sitting here and the audio was absolutely terrible, people would just log off. I think audio is sometimes even more important than video. What kind of videos were you doing though, Ultra? I would say though, if you've already got a smartphone, I would maybe just get started with your smartphone and see where you go from there. Some of the new smartphones, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people start with iPhones or, you know, Samsung phones or whatever, and you just start vlogging like that. It depends on, I mean, I think audio wise, again, I'd like to give you a simple answer, but it's like, really what most people, if you go to YouTube, what's the best vlogging camera, they will say buy a Canon G7, and it's now up to Mark III, there's a 1, 2 and 3, or buy a Sony RX100, and there's a Sony RX100 1 to 7. So those are the two that nearly every YouTuber recommends if you want a vlogging camera. A Sony RX100 or a Canon G7X. and there's like 3 variations of the Canon and there's 7 variations of the Sony, and they're basically 1-inch sensors. The latest Canon, I think, also has a mic port as well, but again, that's like 600, 700 now. Do you have to be moving around, Ultra? Like, what kind of videos? Because see, if you just want to talk to the camera, your quality might be quite good if you just hold it like that and you just talk into the camera. But again, as well, if you need to do audio separately, like through your phone, you can actually get the audio improved in your phone quite easily if you've got a mic port. And if you don't, use the USB Type-C to like 3.5mm connection. Put in like a lavalier mic or, you know, a little shotgun mic, and the audio will be better. But when you start moving around, you know, this is where kind of things change up. Oh, that's a good idea, Paul, the little rings at the back of the phone. Yeah, those can be used as kind of phone holders as well. That's the thing, Evo. I need to maybe change. I've been recording at 60 frames per second most of my videos for the last couple of years just because I thought, you know, it's the highest quality. When YouTube started allowing 60 frames per second, I'm like, you know what, I'll just do all my videos like that. But sometimes I don't think it's necessary, certainly if I'm, you know, just sitting doing the camera. Just, you know, talking to the camera. No problem, Alja. 29%. Still in the game here. When the job's done about 15, I better tie things up. Right. Just for reference, yeah, I did see that Shop 2 has got the Switch Lite 188 basically, delivered for the Lite version. Seems a good price. I think 150 might have enticed me more to buy it. If it was 150, I might have been tempted to buy it more than the other one, but at that price, I think I'll go for the other one. And they've actually got a Pro controller as well. See this one here? That's actually wired though. That's the one thing I noted. That actually looks like a really good controller, but it is wired. So you're going to have to keep that plugged in all the time. But I'm tempted to buy something like that just for having it at the computer. You know, for £16 I could just attach it and then I could play games. You know, if I'm streaming a Switch game, I could just, you know, whether it's wired or not, it's not a big issue. It's fine now. So yeah, I might try and see what happens with the Switch. I don't know why Amazon's taking so long with it. I suspect they are just trying to get rid of old stock, and they don't want to. They don't want to be left with the older stock, and they don't want to drop the price on it. I reckon a lot of people just go on and just search for Nintendo Switch, and they'll pay the full price. And that's probably why they're not sending the new one just now. So I may have to buy it somewhere else. Hey Alan. Well, we looked at this website earlier on about specifications. I'll copy it into the comment area, but it is worth noting, Aaron, that these are all just speculation. You know, these are all speculative right now. So we'll see. I think a lot of the things that are on that will be right as far as it does 4K gaming and it does 8K, you know, upscaling. That's kind of got a collection of most of the main rumours right now. But you always have to take these rumours with a pinch of salt, and I think the closer you get to the official launch date, the more the rumours tend to be true. It's the same with the phone world. Also, when the PS5 comes out next year, it might not be as powerful, I think, because you've got the 4th generation from AMD and 10th generation from Intel. I don't know, I mean, by the sounds of it, I think they're going to be using an AMD, what was it they said here? Oh, in fact, I'll scroll back up here. Was it an AMD CPU? So by the sounds of it, they're going to be going, here it says that they're going to be going with an AMD 3rd generation Ryzen, 8 cores, 16 threads. For the GPU, it was going to be NVIDIA, I think. Oh no, Radeon. Radeon, sorry. see if I can get information on that. I don't think there's many. Oh yeah, it's AMD Radeon. So it's AMD CPU and GPU, but I think it's just kind of rumoured at this point. The one I saw said that, the article I saw said that it's kind of equivalent of a 2070. Ah, nice one. I've not played that yet. A few of my friends have got it and they say they could give me it, but I played the Oculus, the new one, Oculus Go, the one that's like £600, and it was awesome. It's like a standalone headset. It's basically it's got a Snapdragon 835 in it, and you just, you're walking about the room, but you don't have to be attached to cables like you can with the PS VR. I've always fancied the PlayStation virtual reality because I've got driving games. I've got the driving seat and the driving wheel, and apparently it's one of the best ways to play driving games. AMD Zen Force 7nm. Yeah, I think that's what the website says there as well. Yeah, 7nm Zen 2 micro architecture. 16 threads, 3.2 gigahertz. But again, a lot of that's, it's just kind of guesswork. No, I've not been stacking Bitcoin. I've just held my Safecoin at the moment, because they're still trying to get the what do you call it, masternode sorted. I've kind of pulled back for the whole cryptocurrency world as well from a video perspective, because of a lot of people in the community are kind of poisonous, if I'm honest. Very good point, Evo, very good point. It's all about the games. It's all about the games. I mean, hardware is always going to be an element of it, as far as driving technology forward. And I think for certain games, driving games, perhaps call it first-person shooters, perhaps, I think obviously hardware drives games forwards because it's all about realism. Whereas a Mario game, since the GameCube, or since the Nintendo 64, Mario games have been amazing. In fact, they've been amazing since the 80s, but I mean, as far as games have not got infinitely better because of the graphics. I think they're down in price now, Ultra, the VR. Yeah, apparently the PS5 will support the existing VR, but I don't know if they'll come out with another unit. Yeah, Evo saying they are interesting to see what Sony exclusives have to offer. Yeah, we'll see what they come out with. I know I still need to pick up Spider-Man. That's one game I need to pick up. I'll wait till it's down in price. But that is one, I must admit, that is one of the reasons why I want to do more game streaming on my channel, or maybe do half product reviews and half game streams, because I want an excuse to play games more and enjoy myself and just have a laugh. Astrobot? No, I've not played that. I think from what I've heard, VR is good in some games like Wipeout and all that, but then there's other games it's just not as good. But I've not tried it yet. I haven't tried. I've been offered it by two friends, and at the time I was like, I don't have time just now anyway. So yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for prices though. I'll definitely keep an eye out for prices. So, let me see. See if we can find something here. No problem, Aaron. Good hearing from you, mate. Good hearing from you. I hope you're doing okay, mate. Hope you're doing okay. Job Simulator? No, I've not played that. See, I'll see if I can find some. See if I can find some rumors about Project Scarlet, the Xbox One X successor. Man, see all these gaming websites, man. It's like eye cancer. See all the ads, and I don't want to allow notifications. Okay, so a lot of this is rumors as well. Look at all this crap that's popping up. Stop playing videos. Stop. I don't want notifications. Go away. Right. Next Xbox Zen 2 CPU, kind of same as before the Sony. Promised 120 frames per second, 8K, and ray tracing supported by dedicated hardware. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any kind of official rumors here. It's the thing, you know, a lot of these websites will do articles for this just to get traffic, but they've actually got no information. They're just guessing. They're just speculating what could happen. Is there a lens attachment for a mobile phone for stabilization? No, Ultra. What you'd really be looking for, well, you can get the little lenses that attach to the back to kind of do like fisheye, or, you know, kind of a wider lens, but you'd really be wanting a gimbal. You'd walk about with a gimbal. I found that it does work okay. It's a little kind of wishy-washy at times when you're doing it. It's a little bit, you know, kind of moves about. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't work so good. You could get a gimbal very cheap. You can buy a gimbal really cheap. What I found though is that it kind of, there's basically less chance of you using it when you're about, because it's big and heavy and it's not something that can fit in your pocket. You'll need to take it with a bag. And that, again, this is another thing with doing YouTube videos. One of the reasons I like having a good phone that can do videos is because I'm more likely to do videos if I've got a device with me that I can do videos with. Kind of the same as my laptop. I didn't bring a camera and things like that. I didn't have to, because I've got one on my laptop, one on my phone. Google Camera for stabilization is really good if you can install it. Alright, I didn't know that. Another thing to bear in mind, Ultra, is I don't know if you did any video editing or anything like that, but if you do a video using like a digital compact camera, you need to take those files, you need to put them into software, you need to edit the files, and then you need to do it all that way. And it's a little bit more work. The reward for that extra work is that the quality will be much better than the videos that you took with your phone. And in comparison, you can record a video with your phone like that, and you can just upload it directly to YouTube, and you can just pick the start point and the end point, and it just uploads it. And, you know, there's less hassle for you in that respect. You just have to make sure you attach a good mic and things like that. I think if you're just starting out, Ultra, again, I don't know what kind of videos you're doing. I don't know what you're trying to do. My recommendation with you, maybe just go for a kind of selfie stick tripod, like a lavalier mic, something, or a little mic, a video micro, Rode Video Micro, something, a little shotgun mic to give you good audio. And maybe start off some of your videos being stationary, talking to the camera, and then if you're moving about, just try and keep your moving down, you know, keep it limited. And then, you know, what if you start seeing people subscribing, if you start seeing people, you know, commenting, then maybe go and spend a little bit of money on a digital camera. But again, you've got your digital camera, you've got your memory cards, you record videos, you need to take the memory card out into your computer, you need to edit the videos. I'm not discouraging you, I'm just saying, you know, there's more work involved, and generally that is true. You know, when you're getting more equipment for audio and video and all that, you need to put it all together and edit things, and it takes longer. Which is why game streaming is, you know, so enticing for people, because you don't have to spend time editing, you just do it live. Is that? Oh, right, hold on. Hold on, guys. I think is the frame rates going down, by the way? I think because I'm down to under 20% battery. Hold on, guys. I can save this. I can save this stream, if only briefly. Let's see. So basically, see if I can do this. Right. What I'm trying to do is get you all charged up. Oh! Get you all charged up. Right. That better? Not ideal. Not ideal. But yeah, I messed up for a bit. Yeah, it's kind of, I was worried about that, Evo. I was worried about that. So basically what happened there. Right, okay. So basically what happened there, the battery went down to like 20%, under 20%, it was down at 19% there, and it kind of puts into an eco mode, as you would expect, less power for the CPU, everything gets a little bit kind of messed up. I saw it was stuttering there, so I knew there was something wrong. Should be okay now that it's charging. I really didn't know that she didn't have a plug over there. Don't get me wrong, it's an easy fix. When I come back, this, you know, if I'm ever working here again or home here during the day when she's at work, I can, you know, buy like a £5 extension lead so that I can get power over there. Very easy fix. Wait, is you Ultra? Sorry, you were saying you're living with your parents. I think if you're you know, you're younger, obviously, I can justify spending. Well, I try to justify spending money on equipment and all that. I try and treat it like a business in a way. It's more of a passion, I guess, but I try and justify spending money on equipment to buy better videos and things like that. I know that's harder when you're younger, and you want to. You know, you've still got your studies and all that as well. You still need to stick in at school or university and all that. But I wouldn't discourage you. I think if you are keen on this, on doing YouTube, just work with what you've got initially and try not to spend too much money. Because YouTube can be hard to get going. It can be hard to get going. But what I would say is, if any of you guys, you know, are needing help in that regard, as far as the YouTube stuff, you're always welcome to kind of join in on one of my live streams if you wanted to just kind of chat. Microphone adapter. Have you got a headphone jack? Have you got one of those, or have you just got the charging? Have you got the charging port, or have you got the headphone jack as well? You can buy a Type C to 3.5mm one, and then you can buy a lav mic. See, the lav mic I've got, it's £9 on Amazon, and I think the quality is amazing. I think it's fantastic. The audio quality would be better right now through that if I had it, you know, attached to my phone. Well, you can buy a lavalier mic on on Amazon. The one I buy is called. In fact, I'll tell you the one I buy. I've reviewed it before. I've actually did a review of it before. Like, there's a video review of this on my channel. What's it called again? Is it Blue Smart? Lav mic Blue. I think it's Blue Smart or something that's called. I think that's what it's called. I think that's it. So if you search online, you're going to see a lot of kind of different ones being advertised. I'm sure these ones like Purple Panda and all these other ones are good. The Rode one's apparently good, but the cord is quite short. The one I'm using, I think it's this one, Blue Smart. See, this one is $12.65. It kind of jumps around in price between like £9 and £10 and $12. But that one, you get that. You also get an adapter. That will help you plug into a regular camera. That's what that does. The 3 lines there means it's for a smartphone. If you see one of my videos from my phone, then I've probably been using that mic. And I've actually bought two of it. Because basically I couldn't find it at one point. I just bought another one right away. I'm tempted to buy another one as a backup. Your phone is micro USB. But if you've got a headphone jack, then you can, if you've got a headphone jack, you can just attach that to the 3.5mm port. If you don't, you can get a micro USB to 3.5mm. But again, I digress. The main point here is that you do have options. The easiest option you do have is to use your phone. But it depends what you want to do. If you want to do game streaming, if you're going to do game streaming, then it's a different setup. It's like you need a PC, you need a webcam, you need different things like that. So it can be expensive though. When you want to get the equipment that you want, you do need to start spending money. But in the beginning, especially, if you're not working and things like that, I would try to work with what you've got and just work with what you've got kind of thing. But if you're unsure about anything like that, just leave a comment in my videos and I'll try and point you in the right direction. So, is it charging my phone? Yeah. Oh, I'm up to 21%. It's very slow charging this because I'm using the power delivery. But I think I'm going to tie up here anyway, guys, because I've kind of talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Thanks for dropping by, guys. I do appreciate it. Oh, you've got an Apple phone. Well, there's actually more mics for Apple phones than there are for Android phones, to be honest. There's probably ones that work with Apple that don't work with mine. I would probably get a lavalier mic or a shotgun mic. A lavalier mic, you'll get better quality, but a shotgun mic means that you can walk about. It's just sitting on top of it. But I would go down that route first, Ultra, and then take it from there. But thanks for the chat today, guys. It was good because I was too tired. I couldn't be bothered writing today, and my head's not in it as far as writing goes. So I wanted to do a live stream and talk about some things. So really in this video, what we focused on, the PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch being completely ridiculously overpriced, but still a good console, third-party controllers and different things like that. But thanks for watching, guys. It's been good. I'll try and do some more live streams this week. I'll try and do some game live streams, stream a few games as well, and I've got some other product reviews I'm going to try and do this week as well. But thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for posting all your comments. As I said, Ultra, if you're ever needing any feedback on that kind of stuff, just give me a buzz, leave a comment on one of my videos, and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Evo. Thanks, Ultra. Thanks, Evo. Appreciate it. Thanks. I'll try and do it, as I said, I'll try and do another game stream. If there's any games you want me to try and cover, I'll try and get it. Via on the PS4 or the Wii U, probably. That's the ones I'll probably choose just now. Cheers, Ultra. Right, guys, have a good one, guys. Enjoy the good weather. Speak to you soon. Cheers.